I'm the managing director, so I sort of deal with overseeing the day-to-day running of Warp Sports, from the retail operation to the site and our import and distribution. Also, I deal with paying the bills and all that sort of all that stuff.
So I guess officially I'm commercial director here at Warped. What that really means is I take key responsibility for certain projects. So mainly I'm involved with making sure that the websites are correct, our social networking policies, and some specific projects that we get involved in. So the new Warped Gear product range, the whole club setup is something that I was instrumental in putting together. And for about 5 or 6 months of the year, I'm almost full-time on North East South.
My role, well, I'm the event coordinator, which basically means I'm the guy that you speak to if you want to play paintball. Whether it's your first ever time and you're looking to organise a cracking day out with some mates, or whether you're a seasoned pro looking to book into one of our tournaments, like say the 10-man tournament or one of our club events. I'm the front line of making sure that every baller that we talk to gets what we're about, which is passion and expertise, and helping everyone get the best experience that they can from their time with us, regardless of what stage of their sort of paintball life cycle they're at.
I'm a site manager. I run everything that goes on with the site on the ground, down to the maintenance, down to customer service, down to just basically looking after people and making sure they enjoy themselves and their experience at Warped.
So my role here is, as I say, I'm the retail manager. So basically the core of the shop really is to service customers that come from the site. They come off from the site and when they love it and they want to get into it. Basically the core of what the shop is to do is to basically make sure that they're getting the right stuff and they're getting the right information and they get what they want out of paintball, and to make sure they're all sorted really.
I've been working at Warped full-time since I think 1997, when Tim Taylor and I, prior to that I had my own little paintball retail business, some people might remember, Midland Paintball. I got together with Tim at that time. He was running the Activate site here in Wolverhampton. We got our heads together, decided that we could do some stuff together, and formed Warp Sports at that time. So yeah, 1997.
Well, I started working on site as a marshal just after the Drug Wars North v South game, which, if memory serves, was 2004, which probably puts it at around about 15, maybe coming up for 16 years.
I've been working here since I was about 13 years old. I'm now 30, but I went to uni in between hand, and then I come back from uni, did a couple of jobs acting and stuff like that. But in the end I decided to turn to my dad and Jim and say, you know, look, I want to take on a permanent role here at Warped because I enjoyed it that much.
Full time, I've probably worked here for about 5 or 6 years, but I've been around here since I was born really. With Tim being my dad and stuff, paintball's always been a thing.
I've been sort of involved in paintball since, as I said, since '86. Been running Warp Sports for around about 20 odd years, maybe a little bit more, maybe 22 years I think, and running our current paintball venue for around about 25 years.
Well, there's less calculators flying around the office for one. Interestingly, obviously with the advent of social media and the digital age, if you like, people are a lot more informed. People can talk to each other a lot easier. knowledge is a lot more widespread. There's so many different ways to speak to people, there's so many different ways for people to get together and arrange their events. Whether that's some mates who usually play walk-ons at their local site, who've found out about North v South and are arranging building a tank together. You know, they can do that through WhatsApp and all sorts of different channels. Or if it's you know, some few folks trying to organise a birthday party. That's had a really interesting change on the industry and the way that players, wherever they are, get together. I mean, people organise their events a lot closer to their game days now. You know, it used to be a month in advance, it's now a couple of days, you know, maybe a week. And obviously there's so much paintball out there now for people to play. It's been great to see it grow and see all sorts of disciplines evolve. You know, you've got your tournament speedball, you've got your competitive woodland, you've got your rec ball, your mag fed, you know, all sorts of ways and for people to get out there and get their jollies, which is ace.
Quite a bit actually. We've had my brother. He's joined the company. Matt, I've grown relationships with Matt because I've known him since I was like 13 years old when I was first working at the site, and now we work together in management. Throughout the site itself has changed. I've put a lot of new ideas into it and changed itself. The company as a whole is always growing.
I think since I've been doing this job, sort of what's changed for me anyway is sort of looking at it from the sort of the bigger picture and seeing actually what all the different stuff that goes into paintball and different events and different stuff like that. So for me the change really was just seeing all the different stuff that goes on and how much of a big thing it really is.
Well, when I first started, we really just ran tournaments. We then got involved in the rental side of paintball. We then opened the retail shop that we have now and the site that we have now, and then we started importing and distributing the Tomahawk paintballs, which has been a big change in the way that the company is structured, really, in that we support teams with the paint and support events with the paint. So that's a big change for us.
In some respects, you know, the industry hasn't changed because in terms of what we do here, trying to find members of the public that want to come and play paintball, and then trying to turn those to facilitate those people that get the bug for paintball through that rental side, turning them into paintballers. That really hasn't changed, you know, and in some respects the game hasn't changed tremendously. When you're on the game, it still is exciting, still has the same the reasons why people come and play are still exactly the same. The game hasn't really changed that much. There's still a jeopardy involved when you get shot. The industry has changed massively, and obviously the player base has changed massively, and we're now a lot more professional in the way that we do every aspect of the industry, I think.
That's a tough question, because all paintballers, you know, in the world they're fun and they're interesting. But if I was going to have to choose a favourite customer, it'd have to be them first timers on site. The guys that come on site don't have a clue, but they're there. But you can see the inspiration and the joy in their hearts, and you really got to try to get that out of them and make them enjoy the sport.
But actually fairly recent, was just before Christmas. A mother came in and she had absolutely no idea what paintball was, and she'd only ever just heard of it, but a kid was just crazy about it, kept going on and on and on about it. And so he was only about 12, so I had to sort of explain to her what the whole thing was and everything, and she couldn't believe that sort of this side of paintball existed. No,
I think all our customers are great. Yeah, they're all bring their own particular flavour to the company. They all come with their quirks and their requirements. But yeah, I have a laugh with all the customers, to be honest.
The guys who just come off the site, make their way here into the shop, and just come in wide-eyed, tell me more, tell me more. Those are the guys that excite us, the guys who really get the bug for the very first time. and really not sure what it's all about and just want to learn everything about paintball. Those guys are exciting to talk to, and they really give us all a buzz, to be perfectly honest with you.
Who doesn't? I couldn't put it down to one, to be honest. There's so many good people out there that just want to get out and have some fun and leave their egos at the door and have a good heart, play full on the gun, but without any sort of attitude.
Probably last year, what was the favourite anyway, it was the first time I've been there, was Borderlands. I'd never been there before, so it was the first time I went. And I really enjoyed it. It was just very chilled out. Very people just doing, at the heart, paintball, just playing paintball and enjoying it and camping and having a few drinks, and say really chilled out. It was probably my favourite one I went to last year. My
favourite event is North v South. I love to go there, love to be involved. Also love to go to the CPPS events. It's great to get down there, be involved in that whole tournament scene. That's really enjoyable to see everybody from sort of grassroots, people that have started on our site that are now playing at top level. So that's really good to see.
Favourite event to play is obviously the Nations Cup events that I've been involved in with Team GB. It's a fantastic honour and a fantastic experience to go away and pull on that jersey and represent your country or be involved really in any capacity. And of course today we like to think that North v South is our current UK flagship event. I love being involved in that. It's a lot of hard work. It really consumes us, and to see the guys coming along, having a great weekend, that whole festival vibe, really is a buzz for everyone.
To date, I'd have to say my favourite event was representing my country this year, well last year, because 2020 now, at GB in Prague with the lads there. But my favourite event overall, I would have to say, would be being in the police station at North v South. That was a memorable experience.
I would say we run an event every year called Carnage. It's a Christmas event, quite a sort of tongue-in-cheek event, and we always sort of pit one against the other. And my favourite time was when I beat Jim at the Carnage event back in 10 or 12 years ago.
Again, it's very difficult to say one particular memory. I mean, being involved in seeing the lads, Tommy and Harley and the other youngsters that we have around us, or the other guys that we have around us that started playing paintball at the event, at the site when they were 12 and are now, playing and working full-time in the industry. Again, that's a really exciting thing to see those things and to be able to give those guys the opportunity to live the dream that they want to live.
I'm just really happy to have been involved in any of those memories that we've managed to help people build for themselves.
I'd have to say we went to a Millennium Series and we were in Malaga, I think it was, and I was with Jim and all the team boys, and we were meant to be playing a game that day, and we'd been to the event and they said, oh, it's not till later, so we decided to go back to the hotel, have a chill out and then go back ready to play. So we got back to the hotel, we've all gone in the pool and everything, and then Jim gets this call saying, where are you? You're meant to be on the field, the game's going to start in 10 seconds. And there we all are in the pool, chilling out with our margaritas.
I was quite young. It was when I used to just work on the site. It was one of the North v Souths that we did. And on the Sunday, I got drafted to be a mad scientist. And during the game, and I was part of the objective, and they had to hunt me down and chase me. And at one point, I think it was the South had captured me for the majority of the day, and I was trying to escape for ages. And then eventually I did. I ran through the bushes, ran down the roads, and I came into a big group of people. And I was like, I've just escaped from the South. And then I was talking to the South captain, who then just tracked me back up and took me back to where I just escaped from.
Tim's I guess, the yin to my yang. I'm the guy who spends all the money, I guess. I'm the guy who's usually comes up with most of the new directions and and ideas that we want to get involved in. Then that's got to get past Tim because he looks after the pounds and the pennies.
Interesting. Fraught. No, I jest. In seriousness, it's really interesting working with both Tim and Jim, two guys with a heavy passion for what they do, a lot of history in the industry, but also with a good bit of realistic insight and clarity of purpose. It's been a real education.
Working with my dad, it can be difficult sometimes, obviously because we have a family relationship. But you know, majority of the time it's really good, really fun. You know, sometimes we argue, sometimes I get a little bit dramatic, but overall, you know, it's brilliant. You can't beat working with your dad, really.
Again, it's good. You know, Tim being my old man, you know, it's good that he shows me a lot of things and sort of brought me up into the world of paintball. It's good fun working with him. And
Jim's one of the most passionate people I've met, also one of the most insightful. I really admire his ability to really cut to the heart of any particular issue or problem, and it really forces you to think about things in some interesting ways.
Exciting. It's very exciting. Jim comes up with some great ideas, some brilliant stuff, especially with North East South, you know, and it really does put me through paces sometimes. I have to keep up, but you know, he's almost like a second dad, Jim. I've known him forever, so it's brilliant.
it's great. It's great working with Jim. He comes up with all these crazy ideas sometimes, and you know, it's great seeing, because he's been in it for so long, and he comes up with these ideas. Sometimes you think that's absolutely mental, and then sometimes he'll come up with something and you'll think, why has no one ever thought of that ever? That's brilliant. So yeah, it's great just seeing the sort of depth of knowledge and experience that he has. Scotsmen
bring their own flavour to to any situation. Working with Jim is certainly volatile, exciting, and never lacks being interesting, for sure. There's always something new going on with Jim, that's for sure.
Matt really settles me down. He brings me back to earth when I'm there running about, you know, chasing people, making sure they're in the right places, or giving these customers a great experience. Matt really brings it back to basics. Goes through the, you know, the paperwork, my spelling, because my spelling's atrocious, helps me out a lot with that. You know, he's a great guy, and he's brilliant to work with.
It's good fun working with Matt. Because we work, he's probably who I work closely with, or closest with, and he shows me a lot and teaches me a lot of stuff because he's been in it a bit longer than I have.
Matt is an interesting character. He's a good laugh. He likes things right. He likes things correct, and you know, he likes his coffee time as well. So it's always interesting working with Matt.
Matt is fantastic. He's a great professional. He loves what he does. He gets so excited at booking people into events, whether that's rental events or club events, Genesis series or North East South. Again, he's the type of guy who does it because he loves it, and he feeds off of other people loving it.
Interesting, because obviously he's my older brother as well, so we like to take the mick out of each other a lot. So there's some funny stories, and also we do drive each other at the wall sometimes. But overall, yeah, it's real fun working with him, and it's nice having my brother sort of working alongside me. It's good.
Great fun to work with and play paintball with. We played on the same teams. Everybody knows Tom's a bit of a drama queen, so he has his moments and has his challenges.
Fantastic enthusiasm from Tom, always in everything that you want to do. If you get him on board with something, nobody gets more excited about it than Tom.
Me and Tom have to work in pretty close partnership, because I help people organise their events. I find out what people are looking to get. I have insight on who might be the best members of staff to run those groups, what those dynamics are, and then I feed that through to Tom in his capacity as the site manager. And we work together to, once again, make sure our customers are getting great events. As such, we have each other's backs at pretty much all times. Over my time working with Tom, it's really helped me define what actual teamwork is, with very few egos involved.
Great fun to work with, great fun to get out there and be involved in paintball with. Struggles to get up in the morning, unfortunately. Has its challenges, but I wouldn't change anything about it.
Nightmare.
I'll come back to you once I know if he's done any work.
Great lad, loves the game, lives for the game. Sometimes forgets we got bills to pay. That's all I'm going to say.
Harley's a great guy. He's absorbs things like a sponge. He's very much got his own personality, definitely brings something interesting to the party, which I think is one of the things generally as a company makes us pretty strong, is everyone's got their own aptitudes, their own approaches, but we're all sort of united by that passion for paintball.
It's terrible. No, brotherly love all the time. We've got to have the banter, you know. I come in sometimes, just get him a clip around the ear or whatever as I'm walking past him. You know, he makes me do stuff. I'll make him lock up sometimes, leave him. But, you know, he's all right. He's my brother.
Thanks for supporting Warped over all these years. Hopefully you like what we continue to do. We've got lots of fresh plans coming along always in the future. We're always moving, always changing. You know who we are. If you're a local Midlands baller, come along. We're here for you.
Without you guys out there wanting to play paintball, people like me and the rest of the guys here in the Warped office don't get to enjoy the privileged position of being able to share something that we love doing with the rest of the world.
Paintball is a growing sport, and you know, it's a great thing to see people getting behind it more and more these days. It's just, you just got to follow your heart and play true, and you know, enjoy it. That's what we're all there for, and that's why we're doing it. At the end of the day, we love paintball, we enjoy it, and that's the reason why we do it. Never ever forget that.
Thank you for supporting us and being with us throughout all these years, and you know, looking forward to all the later stuff that we're going to do throughout the next few years.
Thank you very much for your support over the years. I hope you've enjoyed being involved in Warped and being involved with us as much as I've enjoyed it. It's a family for us. It's a lifestyle. It's about doing and being paintball is what we are.